Hello my friends, we have some breaking news about the attack on the Russian airplanes which are based here in Minsk, Mychilivsky airfield. This airfield is used as the base for the Russian fighter jets and also Russian surveillance airplanes, Russian AVAX A-50U. It's basically Ilyushin 76 with a big plate on the top. And that big surveillance airplane was attacked by the drones and was severely damaged. There is the great probability that the airplane will never fly because the forward part of the fuselage was damaged, the central part of the fuselage was also damaged together with that central part of the wing root, and also the radar itself, the big plate, was damaged. And it's very unique equipment. It was designed and made in the Soviet Union in Tashkent factory. Actually, the Tashkent was the base to produce those airplanes, and Russia cannot produce those any longer. They may maintain them, but to produce this airplane with that equipment, no, they can't. And this information was provided by the Belarus Gayun, which is kind of a reliable opposition resource in Belarus, but still we don't have the official comment from the Belarusian side as well as the Russian side, and probably they will not comment because the net worth of that airplane is $500 million. And it has the similar price with a big navy ship. And before we continue with the news, and I'll tell you obviously more details, let me tell you about the partners of my channel and also friends of mine, Atlas VPN. The sponsor of today's video is Atlas VPN. It was a long way actually for me to stop on this one. Personally, I tried free VPNs, but they are very slow and they cannot provide proper security for your accounts. Atlas VPN got the military standard data encryption. What it does, it basically hides my data for everyone who wants to reach it. Here we speak about the government structures, possible hackers or unwanted advertisements. Also use the Atlas VPN to get the access for the restricted websites in my country. Atlas VPN helped me to get access to Downfall movie available on Netflix. It is about the Boeing 737 MAX crashes. Because the air crash investigation is the sensitive topic, it was restricted in some countries. But with Atlas VPN I can virtually change my location to any kind of country. So basically you have unlimited access to streaming services as Netflix, plus it might help you to avoid the price discrimination on internet if you want to buy something like airline ticket or you want to book apartments on Booking. My friends, if you want to get secured, reliable and fast VPN, please visit the link below under this video where you can have it just for $183 per month if you sign up for the 3 years deal, and you'll have 3 months for free. Together it is 83% of discount. Awesome. They sent me this option for a limited time, so hurry up to join the club. Atlas VPN is the great sponsor of my channel and they do a fantastic job supporting Ukrainians around the world. Atlas VPN, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Alright, here we have the Google Maps, and if we zoom into Mychilivsky airfield, you can see it has the single runway, the main taxiway, which is also the apron, and here you can see some of the illusions, but I think, yeah, it's not the A-50, the Russian AVAX airplane. I think that if some equipment survived this attack, it can be installed on other airplane, but still you need to produce this unique plate. And how many of those AVAX airplanes Russia has? 9. And 6 of them are the modernized version, and 3 just were flying. One was usually flying in Crimea, the other one on the Russian territory near to occupied Donbas, and the one in Belarus. Yeah, we may not see many of the airplanes on this photo. I wonder why. Because Russia uses also MiG-31 airplanes. Maybe they store them in the hangars to hide from the satellites. And also they keep the hypersonic missiles on the airfield, and they constantly launch some sort of the assaults on Ukrainian territory, presenting the threat for Ukrainian infrastructure. And this is the message from the Belarus Gayun resource. They reported the explosions that happened early this morning, and around 12 kilometers around the airfield were restricted for the public attendance. And there were lots of the militia and KGB representatives. Yes, Belarus still has KGB. And this resource reported the damage of the Russian airplanes. Then the messages start to appear that probably this airplane was hit. You can see even the painting is very bad out there, so those airplanes are quite worn out, but still capable to provide surveillance for the Russian Federation. Maybe it's the old photo or something, maybe it was damaged, and after a while they say it was damaged for sure. A-10, the Russian AWACS airplane. Actually, Ilyushin 76 is the nice airplane, just a little bit lag of the engine power, but they put like new PS90 engines, which are capable, more capable compared to the old NK something engines. And Ukraine also has this airplane type in the army, but just the cargo transport version, not the surveillance one. So this is new, and this is the old paint job, basically Soviet colors. So who was responsible for this attack mission? There are two possible variants, my friends. One is that Ukraine might launch some sort of the drones from our territory, and we did it before with Engels airfield. The other variant, or maybe opinion, that Belarus partisans might launch the drone attack as well using standard DJI drones. They might got modified to drop some of the interesting stuff from the skies, but both of those versions include the drone attack. And yes, there is the probability that 10,000 bucks drone may eliminate $500 million airplane. So now just two of those airplanes are left in Russia. We're speaking about the actively flying airplanes. However, they might use also the same types that are not flying for the spare parts, and they might create some sort of the new airplane, but still it's the huge loss for Russia because this airplane is very unique. So why this airplane is so important? Because Russia constantly uses it to identify our air defense systems, our airplanes, and strike their own cruise missiles. Then they launch this airplane near to Ukrainian border. They see the picture of what is happening in the skies over Ukraine, where the cruise missiles were shot down by our air defense, and also they may track their own air defense systems to shut down our airplanes. So destroying this airplane makes Russia blind, and remember we spoke about the possible Russian massive aviation attack on Ukraine, and without this airplane they will never conduct it because they need to see what is happening in Ukrainian skies. And without knowing the air defense positions on the Ukrainian side, they will simply ruin their air fleet. And we have the registration number of the airplane, it's RF50608, and it wasn't really painted from what I can see, it was flying like that from the Soviet times. Interesting, you may find the photos on the jet photos by putting RF50608. So this is the Ilyushin 76 modification A50U Russian AWACS or surveillance airplane. We're now on the Flight Radar 24 website where you can track the airplane's lifetime, and I want to show you the surveillance job that our Western allies do for us. And here let's zoom into this airplane. This is the United States Air Force, probably unmanned air vehicle, or could be piloted surveillance airplane. You can see it's flying in the international waters, let's say over them, and near to Crimea and also near to the Russian territory. So this is Sochi, there is also a Russian military base, and they have many of the military bases on Crimea. Also, there is one more airplane over here with no call sign and does the surveillance job near to Ukrainian border. Sometimes those airplanes are flying over Poland, but not this evening. We see just commercial traffic over there in Warsaw and over the Poland territory. And just now Russia launched the drone attack, probably to pay back for destroyed A-50 airplane. And you see under threat is the north side of Ukraine, and shooting has been reported in Kyiv. That is our air defense working, and the effectiveness of the air defense rose significantly against the Shahid drones. Now we shut down almost 100% of them, and Russia has some difficulties with those drones because according to the United States intelligence, Iran supplied them the spare parts, but those are not enough, so they're running out of the Shahids. You know that the Leopard tanks were delivered to Ukrainian army recently, and Russia already published the video of destroyed Ukrainian Leopard 2 tanks. It's very pity, but those photos were taken from Syria. So actually it is Syria. Long time ago, then Turkey conducted the operations using those tanks that failed, and many of the tanks were destroyed by the toes. And now Russia just creates the hype on nothing using the old footages of the Turkish tanks. The British Defense Intelligence says that Russia lost the elite forces, elite infantry near to Soledar. They published the satellite photo of the destroyed Russian column. I was speaking about it, and that happened on the 9th of February. And they say that Russia still can use soldiers to try to get Soledar under control, and not only, but the effectiveness will be much lower because they will use mobilized soldiers, because they're running out of the experienced soldiers that they just waste in this open minefield. Yeah, sad news. It was reported today that Andrew Peters, who is the United States Army veteran, who was the volunteer in the International Legion and was fighting in Ukraine, he was killed by Russians on 16th of February. He's from Marshfield, Wisconsin, and he served also in Afghan war in 2014, so he joined the International Legion after all. And yes, unfortunately, my friends, I'm telling you that if you even have the military experience, think twice whether you need to go to Ukraine, because this war, it's not like Afghanistan or any other. This is the full-scale war, very similar to the World War II. And yes, glory to the hero. The Ukrainian intelligence today openly say that they are planning for the attack on the south part of Ukraine, somewhere here between the Russia and Crimea. They're planning it during the springtime, so we already know the place and the time. Also, Russians know as well. The Minister of the Foreign Affairs of Saudi Arabia visited Kyiv today. He met with Zelensky and promised the help about $400 million. $100 million for the humanitarian support and $300 million for fuel. I think that fuel could be used for the Ukrainian army. And let's go for today's updates on Bakhmut, because that's the only point where we have some sort of the movement, not we but Russians, unfortunately. And we put our defense as hard as possible, but Russians today covered around half kilometer on the way to the city. So before it was like that yesterday, and today it is like that. The good thing that they were thrown away from Ivanovsky over here, because they were trying to get this road under their control, but they moved their forces closer to the city. So they just left the attempts of taking Chasiv Yar. So they just left the attempts. So they just left their attempts in taking this. So they just left the attempts taking these roads under their control, and will have supplies for sure. I'm very happy about it, but there is the new threat that is very close to the city center over here, and we should put our defense also. And our guys are ready. We have some sort of reports from Bakhmut, from our soldiers. They say yes, the situation is difficult but not critical. The city is still under Ukrainian control. We continue to resist and cause Russians severe losses. My friends, thank you so much. Now please don't forget to press the like to this video, and also please check the link for our partner, the Atlas VPN, the best VPN out there, where you can get the Atlas VPN Premium with a great discount. The deal is time limited, so hurry up to join the club. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.